Stop scrolling. Just for a moment, stop. Let me tell you something you feel in your bones, but maybe have never put into words. That ache for something more, that quiet voice whispering you are built for more than this, it's not a flaw. It's a signal that you are ready to stop pretending. Ready to stop confusing physical hustle for real, unshakable power. Real strength isn't just about lifting heavy weights in a gym where everyone can see you. It is not measured by how much you can bench press or how fast you can move on a track. Anyone can train a body, but to train a mind, to forge a spirit, that is a different kind of war. True strength, the kind that actually changes the trajectory of your life, starts in the silent, private battlefield of your mind. That's where the real war is won or lost, before you even take a single step. You feel it, don't you? The real fight isn't out there. It's in here. It's not about biceps or endurance. It's about the resilience to get back up when life sucker punches you in the soul. It has the willpower to say one more time, when every fiber of your being is screaming, I am done. It's the raw, gritty determination to press forward through the storm, even when your own mind is the thunder screaming for you to take cover. If you can win the fight that takes place in the 6 inches between your ears, then no force outside of you, no failure, no rejection, no obstacle will ever truly defeat you. I'm talking about that deep, quiet, unwavering power that rises from within you like a dawn you thought would never come. The kind that keeps you standing when everything else is trying to knock you down. It's the ability to rise after a failure that shatters your pride, to keep going when others have long given up and gone home, and to move through the chaos even when your instincts are begging you to freeze. If you are ready to unlock the truth behind this kind of strength, then get ready. You feel that tension. That's you waking up. Because what we're about to explore isn't just a change in your routine. It's a complete transformation of how you think, how you respond to pressure, and how you grow from your pain. Mastering your mindset is the non-negotiable foundation of it all. Mental strength isn't about the mask you wear for people on the outside. It's about the war you silence deep within. Your mindset is the most powerful asset you will ever own. The ultimate weapon. Yet, it's often the most neglected, left to rust. How you interpret the world, how you confront adversity that steals your breath, how you handle failure that makes you want to hide. It all begins with your inner dialogue. The conversation you have with yourself when no one else is listening. To be mentally strong, you have to take full, radical ownership of your thoughts. That's where the real war begins. Right between your ears. In that sacred, silent space. Every single day, you are in a mental battle between fear and faith, between doubt and confidence, between weakness and courage. And the difference between someone who breaks under the weight of it all and someone who breaks through to the other side lies entirely in how they train their mind to respond in those defining moments. Think about that. Your next thought is building your future. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Let me say that again. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. If you're constantly telling yourself you're not capable, not strong enough, not ready, then guess what? You're not just thinking you're building. You're reinforcing a prison of beliefs that will hold you back from everything you desire. But the moment you start choosing empowering thoughts, the moment you look in the mirror and tell yourself that no matter what hell comes, you can handle it, that's when the walls of that prison begin to crumble. That's when everything starts to shift. The problem is that so many people live in a cage built from their own limiting beliefs. They replay their past failures and disappointments like a broken record, a soundtrack of shame. But the past only defines you if you allow it to. It's just information, a lesson. It doesn't have to be your life sentence. What truly matters, what defines your destiny, is what you do with the moment you're in right now. This one, right here. Mental strength begins with a conscious, defiant decision to stop shrinking yourself down, to fit into a life that feels safe but feels like death. Stop assuming that the only victories available to you are the ones you've already seen. You are capable of so much more, but only if you choose to believe it. And belief isn't something handed to you by the world. It's not a trophy you win. It's something you build from the inside out, with blood and sweat and tears. It's a mindset that declares, even in the darkest hour, I am more than this moment. I am more than my fear. I am more than my struggle. But this is where most people walk away. They want the results without the discipline. They want the strength without the struggle. They want the sunrise without enduring the long, cold night. If you're still here, you're different. You know this is the real work. Mental transformation doesn't happen in a flash. It's a process, a choice, a daily act of courage. And it begins with the very words you whisper to yourself when you think no one is listening. Words shape thoughts. Thoughts shape beliefs. And beliefs, they shape your entire life. So, when you tell yourself that you're a failure or that you're not enough, you're not just thinking negatively. You're setting the tone for your entire reality, laying a foundation of sand. On the other hand, when you choose words like, I am ready, I can rise, I've got this, you start building a mental environment where success has no choice but to take root. You are cultivating the soil for your own greatness. This kind of mindset isn't built in comfort. It's forged in the fire of adversity. It's tempered in struggle. And speaking of adversity, let's be brutally honest. Life will challenge you. It's not a matter of if, but when. There will be days when nothing makes sense. When everything falls apart. When you feel like the entire world is working against you. That's when mental strength gets real. Not when everything is going your way, but when nothing is. That's when you need to remind yourself that while you may not control every event, you do control your response. You are the author of your reaction, and that gives you a power that can never be taken from you. You are not a victim. You are a fighter. This chapter you're in, no matter how tough, is not the end of your story. It's just a part of it. Your mindset is your shield. It's your power source. It's what allows you to face chaos without falling apart. When you master your mindset, you stop being controlled by fear. You stop being haunted by your past. You stop shrinking to fit into boxes that were never made for you in the first place. And instead, you begin to see just how powerful you really are. That realization, that spark of inner certainty, is where true mental strength begins. But what if I told you that everything you just heard is only the first layer? That the real secret, the mechanism to building this unshakable core, is something most people run from their entire lives. It's waiting for you in the very thing you're trying to avoid. But here's the part that most people avoid. The part we conveniently scroll past. The path to becoming mentally strong isn't paved with comfort and applause. It's paved with discomfort. With the gritty, raw, and often painful feeling of being stretched beyond what you believe you can handle. Growth doesn't live where you feel safe. It lives where you feel the strain. Think about a muscle. It doesn't get stronger while it's relaxed on the couch. It breaks down in the gym, under the weight, screaming for relief, and then it rebuilds itself, stronger than before. Your mind is no different. If you want to rise, to evolve, to become truly unshakable, you need to make peace with being uncomfortable. You must learn to see it not as a threat, but as your most loyal trainer. That's the non-negotiable cost of strength. And I promise you, it's worth every single aching step. Ask yourself, when was the last time you chose the harder path, just to grow? Mental strength is not something that magically appears when life is easy. That's a fairy tale. It's something you build brick by brick when you stare challenges directly in the face without flinching. When you step willingly into the fog of uncertainty, and when you keep moving forward through the moments that make every part of you want to quit, to hide, to surrender. In a world that constantly encourages comfort, ease, and instant gratification, we're taught to avoid the hard road at all costs. We're told to look for shortcuts, to chase convenience, to seek the quickest reward. But the truth is this, and you know it in your heart: real mental toughness is never developed in comfort. It is born in discomfort. It's shaped in the struggle you didn't ask for. It is forged in the fire of adversity and refined every single time you choose not to give up. Just like physical strength isn't developed by lifting light weights that require no effort, mental strength isn't gained by avoiding life's heavier challenges. You don't get a stronger mind by avoiding the weight. You get stronger by choosing to carry it, by embracing the load, by enduring the very pressure that everyone else is running from. Each time you face a situation that scares you, that overwhelms you, that tempts you to walk away, but you move forward anyway. You're conditioning your mind. You're building mental muscle. That discomfort you feel, it's not a stop sign. It's a signal. It's physical proof that you're stretching beyond your old limits, growing into someone who is capable of more than you ever imagined. Every difficult moment is an invitation to grow stronger, an RSVP to a version of yourself you haven't met yet. And yet, most people treat discomfort like a fire on fire. They treat it like a threat instead of the gift that it truly is. When things get tough, they retreat. When the heat turns up, they shut down. But avoiding discomfort only offers temporary relief. It's a numbing agent. It doesn't lead to strength. It doesn't create growth. It just keeps you stuck. Safe, maybe, but stuck. Think about that. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Now, think back. Think back to the hardest seasons of your life. The times when you didn't think you could keep going. When you were exhausted, defeated, broken down to your very core. Remember the weight of it. Now remember what happened when you choose to keep showing up anyway. When you got out of bed, when you took one more step, you became more resilient. You discovered a reservoir of strength you didn't know you had. You found a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. That is the power of embracing discomfort. It opens doors you didn't even know were there. It forces you to dig deeper, to reach higher, and to adapt in ways that a life of comfort never, ever could. The pain you feel in the present moment, it's not punishment. It's preparation. It's preparing you for something bigger. It's making you stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling whatever comes next. And let's be clear, discomfort isn't always loud and dramatic. It's not always a crisis or a catastrophe. Sometimes it's quiet. It's the day-to-day struggles, the long hours on a project that matters to you, The minor setbacks that feel like 1,000 paper cuts. The small frustrations that pile up over time, whispering that it's not worth it. You know the feeling, right? That slow burn of daily resistance. These moments demand just as much mental strength as the big, dramatic ones. It's in the daily and sexy grind that your mindset is either built or broken. Every time you get up and keep going when you don't feel like it, every time you take action despite being tired, overwhelmed, or discouraged, that's when you're building real, lasting strength. The more you face discomfort head-on, the less it controls you. It starts to lose its grip. You begin to see it differently, not as a threat, but as a signal that you're doing something meaningful. Discomfort becomes your compass, pointing you unerringly in the direction of growth. You stop running from it. You start welcoming it, because now you understand what it really is. It's the training ground for the strong. So the next time you find yourself in a difficult moment, don't run. Don't numb it with distraction. Don't pretend it's not there. Lean into it. Embrace it. Shake its hand and thank it for the opportunity. Recognize it as a sign that you are growing into the person you were always meant to become. This is your opportunity to rise, to evolve, and to show yourself what you're truly made of. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's the doorway. The doorway to resilience, to strength, to everything you want, but haven't yet become. If this is speaking to you, if you're feeling this shift, hit subscribe. The deepest part of this journey is still ahead. But what happens when the weight isn't just on your shoulders, but on your heart? When the discomfort isn't in your muscles, but in your soul? What do you do when the storm isn't outside your window, but inside you? The real test is what you do when it all starts to hurt. And that brings us to the heart of the matter, the part we often hide from the world. Emotional resilience. Because mental strength isn't just about action and grinding. It's not just about what you do. It's about how you handle the entire inner universe of feeling when life gets messy. It's about what happens inside the quiet of you when everything outside you falls apart. Life will test you emotionally. This is not a possibility. It is a promise. You will face setbacks that feel like a punch to the gut. You will deal with failure that stains your confidence. You will be rejected, disappointed, hurt in places you didn't even know you had. That's the price of admission to a meaningful life. But what separates the mentally strong from the rest isn't whether they feel this pain. It's how they respond in those emotional valleys, when the lights go out and hope feels like a rumor. Emotional resilience is one of the most powerful, quietest forms of strength there is. It's the ability to bounce back after falling hard and scraping your soul. It's the inner power to keep your heart open, tender, and trusting when it's been bruised and betrayed. It has the sheer determination to keep moving forward even when your spirit feels crushed under the weight of it all. You're going to feel pain. You're going to go through loss. That's inevitable. It's human. But listen to me, the pain is not what defines you. Your response to it is. Strength doesn't mean you never feel broken. It doesn't mean you never cry in the shower, never fall to your knees, never struggle to find the light. True strength means you feel all of it, the full, terrifying depth of it, and you choose to keep going anyway. It means you let the emotions come, the anger, the grief, the fear, you let them roll through you like a storm. But you don't let them build a house inside you. You don't let them take the wheel. You process them. You learn from them. And you rise because of them. Emotional strength isn't about suppression. It is not about plastering on a smile and saying I am fine when you are shattered inside. That's weakness in disguise. It's about being brutally honest with yourself. It's about sitting in the raw, uncomfortable silence of your feelings and still, choosing to take the next breath. And the next. That's what it means to be mentally and emotionally resilient. Ask yourself, where in your life are you numbing the feeling instead of feeling it? It's not the absence of pain. It's the presence of courage in the middle of it. Think of it like this. Your emotions are the ocean. Powerful, deep, and sometimes wild. Emotional resilience isn't about stopping the waves. It's about learning to swim. It's about mastering the ability to recognize a wave for what it is, to ride it without drowning, and to know that no matter how fierce it is, it will pass. You are the shore, not the storm. Think back to a moment when life knocked you down. I mean, really knocked you down. When plans unraveled in an instant. When disappointment came uninvited and made a home in your heart. It's so easy to get stuck there, isn't it? To sink into the heavy blanket of frustration, sadness, or anger and just let it drive. But the truth is, those emotions, while overwhelming, are not permanent residents. They are visitors. They don't get to define who you are. Mentally strong individuals understand this on a cellular level. They know that what truly matters is not what you feel in a moment of blinding weakness. It's how you respond to it when the fog clears. Strength lies in processing those feelings without letting them become the CEO of your life. It means not letting anger cloud your vision so you make a decision you'll regret for years. It means not allowing fear to dictate your decisions, keeping you small and safe. It means giving yourself the sacred space to feel it all, but then, with clarity and purpose, choosing to move forward. Resilience means you don't live in the darkness. You move through it. You get back up. You take a deep, ragged breath that fills your lungs with new possibility. And you keep going. You learn from what happened. You carry the lesson like a sacred text, and you leave the weight of the pain behind you. You leave it right there on the road. One of the most critical parts of this is composure, the ability to remain the calm in your own chaos when things fall apart. Life has a way of surprising us. No matter how much we plan, how hard we work, or how prepared we think we are, the real test comes when those plans go sideways. Will you let stress and frustration unravel all your progress? Or will you steady your own hands, look the chaos in the eye, and press on? The mentally resilient choose the latter. They don't waste their precious life force on things they can't control. They don't drain their spirit trying to change the unchangeable. Instead, they pour their energy into the one thing they can always affect, their attitude, their focus, their very next step. They understand that pain and setbacks are inevitable, but how they choose to face those moments, that is a power that can never be taken from them. That choice, right there in the crucible of pain, is where the deepest strength is found. If this is resonating with you, if you're tired of being ruled by your storms, remember to subscribe. We're building something unshakable here, and this resilience requires a surprising ingredient: vulnerability. The courage to confront your own limitations without shame. It's not about being flawless or having it all together. It's about understanding that it's okay to break down. It's okay to feel lost. It's okay to struggle. It's about realizing that even in your lowest moments, you are still worthy of progress. A brief dot of hope. Mentally strong people don't hide from their emotions in a dark closet. They turn on the light. They face them, feel them, and express them in healthy, constructive ways. But they never forget that emotions are just one part of the story. They're the weather, not the climate. They know that emotional awareness must be paired with emotional discipline. Because in the end, your ability to rise doesn't come from never falling. It comes from the ferocious, stubborn, glorious refusal to stay down. When you build emotional resilience, you stop letting your feelings dictate your future. You take back the wheel. You choose your path with intention. And no matter how stormy the road becomes, you know, deep in your bones, that you have what it takes to weather it. That is what makes you truly unshakable. But it doesn't stop there. Knowing how to weather the storm is one thing, but what builds the ship? And it doesn't stop there. Mental strength also demands a deep, non-negotiable commitment to the one thing that builds everything: self-discipline. It's not just about pushing through the hard times when the world is watching. It's about showing up day in and day out, even when nothing around you is inspiring, even when the passion has faded. It's about honoring your goals, sticking to your commitments, and doing the necessary work, especially when your motivation has packed its bags and vanished. Because let's be brutally honest, motivation is a fair-weather friend. Some days, it simply won't be there. It will abandon you. And on those days, self-discipline becomes everything. It becomes the bridge between the person you are and the person you swore you would become. It's the daily, silent grind. The repetition that no one sees. The quiet determination to keep going when no one is watching and when your progress feels completely invisible. Discipline is the foundation of all lasting success. It's what keeps you moving when your emotions are hysterical, telling you to quit, that it's not worth it. It's what drives you to stay focused when 1,000 distractions are singing your name. It's the internal promise that you keep to yourself, over and over and over again, no matter how many times life tries to knock you off course. Discipline is not glamorous. It's not always exciting, but it is powerful. It is the steady, relentless force that builds unstoppable momentum and sharpens your edge to a razor's point. Mentally strong individuals don't rely on the fickle wind of inspiration to fuel their actions. They rely on consistency, on routine, on the uncompromising standards they've set for themselves in the quiet. They understand, in their core, that greatness isn't built on feelings. It's built on commitment. So, if you want to be mentally strong, don't just wait for a motivation to show up. Build discipline instead. Choose to act in alignment with your goals, even when it's hard, even when it hurts. Choose to stay the course when your mind tempts you with the easy way out. Show up with purpose, not just passion. Because when you combine this emotional resilience with unwavering, relentless discipline, you become a force that no challenge can break. You become unstoppable. Let's be honest. If you only ever did what was easy or comfortable, you'd stay exactly where you are. Growth wouldn't happen. Progress would stall. And your true potential, it would remain buried forever beneath a mountain of excuses and convenience. Because real growth, the kind that transforms who you are at your very core, begins the moment you step beyond the line in the sand you drew for yourself. It's when you choose to show up even when every part of you wants to stay still, to be small. It's when you do the work not just on the good days, but on the hard ones too. Especially on the hard ones. But here's the truth about discipline. It doesn't arrive with the dramatic flip of a switch. It's not a magical burst of willpower that appears when you need it most. It's something that is built slowly, patiently. Decision by decision, day by day, It's the 1,000 tiny no's to distraction, the 1,000 quiet yeses to what matters. And the more you commit to this path, the more resilient you become in every area of your life. Because when you discipline your mind, you start living life on your own terms. You stop reacting to every fleeting emotion like a puppet on a string. You stop allowing a temporary feeling to override your long-term destiny. You become the one in control. The one who makes intentional choices based on purpose, not impulse. Self-discipline is the hidden power behind every single success story you've ever admired. It's the stark difference between people who dream and people who do. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has goals they talk about, wish for, hope to achieve someday. But not everyone is willing to put in the lonely, repetitive, and sexy work that turns those dreams into a reality you can touch. And that's where discipline makes all the difference. It's about showing up every single day, whether you feel like it or not. It is about honoring your commitments even when the motivation is gone and the path gets so hard you can barely see the next step. One of the greatest tests of your discipline is resisting the siren song of instant gratification. In a world where distractions are constant and comfort is always one click away, it's easy to get lost. It's easy to scroll for hours, to binge on entertainment, to reach for that quick fix that makes you feel good now. But none of that brings you closer to the life you really want. None of that helps you grow. In fact, it silently chips away at your potential, grain by grain. Discipline is choosing to say no to what is easy, so you can say yes to what matters. It's making a conscious, often difficult decision to delay gratification in exchange for something far more valuable in the long run. It's choosing the hard thing, the thing that stretches you, demands more from you, and forces you to level up. That's how mental strength is built, not in moments of ease, but in moments of choice. When you choose discipline over indulgence, effort over avoidance, growth over comfort, you become stronger in every possible way. But let's be clear. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you never rest or that you have to be on all the time. That's a path to burnout. What it really means is that you know what's important and you prioritize it. You know what matters most, and you give it your time and energy, consistently. You understand that your focus is a limited resource and your habits are incredibly powerful. So you choose, with intention, to build habits that support your purpose, not undermine it. This mindset of discipline extends into every area of your life. Mental strength isn't only about pushing yourself in your work or chasing your career goals. It's also about taking radical care of yourself. It's about showing up for your health physically, mentally, and emotionally. It means fueling your body with good food, staying active, getting enough rest, and creating sacred space for recovery. Because when your mind and body are strong and rested, everything else becomes more manageable. Discipline in these foundational areas builds the bedrock for everything else you will ever do. Without it, the entire structure crumbles. With it, everything aligns. Discipline is also your greatest weapon in times of adversity. Life will test you. It will throw challenges in your path that you didn't expect and didn't ask for. But how you respond to those moments is what determines your future. When the pressure is on, when the odds are stacked against you, when things fall apart, discipline is what helps you stay the course. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you moving forward even when the journey feels impossible. Discipline gives you the strength to focus on what matters in that moment. It helps you take the next step, and then the next, and the next after that, until you find your way through the darkness. It allows you to see past the immediate, blinding frustration and stay locked in on the bigger picture of your life. Because success is not about avoiding obstacles. It's about continuing to move despite them. And here is something vital to remember. Discipline is not something you either have or you don't. It's a skill, a muscle. And like any muscle, it grows stronger, it grows resilient the more you train it. The more you practice discipline in the small, seemingly insignificant things, the more equipped and powerful you become to handle the big ones. And over time, you'll start to notice the profound changes. Your life becomes more focused. Your goals feel more within reach. Your health, your relationships, your career, they all begin to reflect the power of your consistent choices. You'll realize that by choosing discipline over comfort, you're building something far greater than success. You're building strength. You're building character. You're building a life that reflects the very best of who you are and who you're becoming. Here's the truth. Self-discipline is the foundation on which all mental strength is built. Without it, your dreams remain nothing more than wishes. They stay locked in the realm of someday because you never take the consistent, disciplined steps necessary to bring them to life. But the moment you decide to show up, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how hard or uncomfortable the work becomes, that's the moment you begin to shift. That's the moment mental toughness starts to take root in your soul. Every time you discipline yourself to follow through, to take action despite the resistance, you're building a stronger mind. A mind that can withstand pressure, overcome setbacks, and stay focused when everyone else is falling apart. Discipline gives you power. The real power. The power to shape your future. To create a life of meaning. And to stay the course no matter what obstacles rise. The more consistently you practice it, the more mentally unshakable you become. And that's when you stop being controlled by your circumstances and start taking full, radical ownership of your journey. But what good is the strongest ship and the sharpest compass if you don't believe you can reach the shore? There is one final piece, and without it, everything we've built can still crumble. But self-discipline alone is not the final piece. You can have the resilience. You can have the discipline. You can have the relentless grind. But without the final, crucial ingredient, it's like building a cathedral without a foundation. It will not hold. You also need confidence. Not the kind that's loud, flashy, or arrogant. Not the kind that's performative. I'm talking about the kind that's steady, grounded. Unshakable. The kind that runs so deep, it becomes the very soil from which everything else grows. Confidence is not just a fleeting feeling that comes and goes with your wins and losses. It is the foundation beneath your persistence. It is the fuel behind your discipline. It is the quiet, unwavering courage that keeps your feet moving forward when everything round you feels uncertain, when the path ahead is shrouded in fog. You can be mentally tough, physically resilient, and full of grit, but without a fundamental belief in yourself, all of that strength becomes locked armory. You have the weapons, but you don't have the key. Confidence begins with belief, a deep, internal, unassailable knowing that whatever comes your way, whatever life throws at you, you have what it takes to handle it, to figure it out, to endure it, and to overcome it. It's the voice in your mind that drowns out the noise of the world, the one that says, I am capable, even when the evidence seems stacked against you. Real confidence isn't about arrogance. It's not about pretending you're invincible or that you have no fear. True confidence is humble, and because of that, it is powerful beyond measure. It's rooted in self-awareness and the profound understanding that strength doesn't mean perfection. It means resilience. It means getting back up. To build this unshakable confidence, you first need to know who you are. Truly know yourself. That means taking the quiet time to understand your strengths, to acknowledge your weaknesses without shame, to define your values, to connect with your purpose, and to respect your limits. Because when you truly know yourself, you stop living for other people's approval. You stop questioning every single decision, paralyzed by the fear of being wrong. You start trusting your own judgment. You stop comparing your behind-the-scenes struggle to everyone else's highlight reel, and you begin focusing, with singular intensity, on your own growth. And let's face it, comparison is one of the greatest killers of confidence. It's a thief of joy and a saboteur of destiny. We live in a world where everyone's best. Most polished moments are constantly on display, and it's so easy to feel like you're falling behind, like you're not enough. But the truth is, your journey is not supposed to look like anyone else's. Your path is yours alone. Your confidence will explode the moment you accept, in your soul, that you are not meant to fit into someone else's mold. You are not meant to wear a personality that isn't yours. You are meant to grow, to struggle, to stretch, to break, to heal into the strongest, truest, most authentic version of yourself. And that can only happen when you start measuring your worth by someone else's standards and start measuring it by your own progress, your own effort, your own integrity. Confidence also comes from how you deal with failure. It's easy to feel strong when everything is going your way. That's not confidence, that's just good weather. True confidence shows up when things fall apart. When you try and fail spectacularly. When you give your absolute all and it still doesn't work out. Confidence isn't the absence of failure. It is the determination to keep showing up after it. It's the courage to look at the wreckage and say, "I'm not done," when most people would quietly walk away. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to shed what doesn't work, and to come back smarter, sharper, and more determined. And when you begin to see it that way, failure loses its power to shake you. It loses its sting. Instead of tearing down your confidence, it starts to build it. Every setback becomes a setup for a greater comeback. And let's not forget the most powerful truth. Confidence is grown through action. Not through thought. Not through wishful thinking. Through action. The more you do, the more you show yourself what you're capable of. Every time you take a risk that scares you, every time you step outside your comfort zone and into the arena, every time you move forward despite the voice of fear screaming in your ear, you are adding another brick, another steel beam to the foundation of your confidence. You don't build belief by standing still, waiting for a sign. You build it by moving, by trying, by proving to yourself, over and over and over again, that you are stronger than your doubts, that you are more capable than your fears. And yes, there will be moments, there will be days when fear and self-doubt show up at your door, uninvited and loud. But the more you push past them, the more you act in spite of them, the quieter they become. They become background noise, not the conductor of your life. Confidence is earned. It is earned through effort, through persistence, and through the raw willingness to keep going when everything inside you is begging for comfort. And here's what's most important to remember. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's not about having all the answers. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about being okay with your imperfections. It's about knowing that you don't need to have it all figured out by tomorrow. You just need to keep going. You just need to show up. It's about understanding that setbacks are not the end of your road. They are part of the path. They are the contours of your story. And every time you stumble and choose to get back up, every time you fall and make the conscious, defined decision to rise again, you become stronger. You become more confident. You become someone who doesn't just survive hard times. You grow through them. You are transformed by them. When this kind of confidence is combined with that unbreakable self-discipline, it becomes an unstoppable force. Discipline gives you the structure to stay on course. Confidence gives you the unshakable belief that the course is worth staying on. And when you have both, you don't just chase your goals. You achieve them. You don't just dream, you do. You build a life, a real, meaningful, impactful life that reflects your strength, your vision, and your ability to rise, no matter what stands in your way. Confidence is not something that appears out of thin air, a gift from the universe. It's something you build through consistency, through the quiet, daily decision to keep showing up and doing the work, even when your energy is low, even when your motivation has faded, even when self-doubt creeps in under the door and tries to convince you that you're not enough, that you can't do it. It's in those moments, the ones where your mind screams at you to quit, to shrink, to settle for a less, that your confidence is either forged in fire or broken for good. And when you choose to keep going, when you lean into the challenge, when you push through the doubt and take one more step, that is when you strengthen the belief bone deep that you are capable of more than you once ever believed possible. Confidence isn't about always feeling ready. It's about acting anyway. It's about proving to yourself, again and again, that you can handle more than your fear wants you to believe. Another powerful piece of building this fortress of confidence is the way you speak to yourself. Your internal dialogue is the architect of your identity. If you're constantly feeding your mind negative thoughts telling yourself you're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy of success, you are conditioning your brain to accept that story as the absolute truth. You are building your own prison. But the moment you begin to change the narrative, the moment you take control of that inner voice, everything shifts. When you speak words of encouragement, when you affirm your own strength, when you declare your worth and remind yourself of what you're capable of, you begin to rewire your entire thinking. You change your destiny. Your confidence starts to rise not from a place of ego, but from a deep, unwavering sense of self-respect. You begin to understand, truly understand, that how you treat yourself in the privacy of your own mind matters more than anything. Confidence is built by honoring yourself, by recognizing your own immense value, by reinforcing, daily, the belief that you are worthy of living the life you envision, that you are worthy of your own dreams. Self-care is a critical, non-negotiable part of this process. When you take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit, you are sending a powerful message to yourself. I matter. I am worth the time. I am worth the effort. You begin to understand that confidence isn't about receiving praise and validation from others. It's about consistently showing up for yourself. It's about doing the inner work, meeting your own needs, and striving to become your best, most aligned self. That kind of confidence, the kind rooted in self-awareness and self-respect, is truly unshakable. It doesn't depend on external approval. It comes from within, and because of that, it can withstand any storm. It can withstand any season of drought. It is yours forever. Confidence and mental strength are deeply, inextricably connected. The more you believe in your ability to rise, the more resilient you become. And the more resilient you are, the more your confidence grows. It is a powerful, self-perpetuating cycle. One feeds the other in a beautiful, upward spiral. When you trust yourself, you stop doubting your capacity to handle what life throws at you. You begin to take bold risks, to stretch beyond your perceived limits, to act with courage, not because you're never afraid, but because you've developed the profound courage to act in spite of the fear. And every time you follow through, every time you overcome an obstacle, big or small, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you once believed. That proof, that tangible evidence of your own strength becomes the fuel that builds an even deeper, more unbreakable confidence. Unbreakable confidence is not given. It is earned. It's earned through repetition, through commitment, through discipline. It's earned by doing the hard work that no one sees. The early mornings, the late nights, the lonely choices. It's earned when you keep showing up, day after day, when no one is clapping. It is earned when you stay loyal to your vision even when the path is shrouded in complete uncertainty. It's earned when you believe in yourself before anyone else does. When you are your own first believer. It's earned when you take full, 100% responsibility for your progress and for your setbacks. When you own your story, all of it. Confidence is built when you stop waiting for perfect circumstances and start creating progress with what you have, right where you are. It's built by stretching yourself, by doing the things that scare you the most, by proving, over and over, that you have what it takes to overcome any challenge that comes your way. So, when you carry yourself with confidence, understand what it truly means. It doesn't mean you have all the answers. It doesn't mean you're never afraid or that you never make mistakes. What it means is that you have chosen to rise. You've chosen to believe in your ability to grow, to get back up, to learn, to adapt. You've chosen to face the world not with a mask of perfection, but with the authentic, gritty power of persistence. Your confidence is not built on appearance. It is built on experience, on grit, on resilience. And because of that, it cannot be taken from you. It is yours forever. As you stand here now, at the end of these words and the beginning of everything else, remember this: the power to build this unbreakable life already lives within you. It is not up there. It is in here. You have everything you need right now to rise above your fears, to navigate through adversity, and to keep pushing forward, no matter how heavy life gets. Confidence isn't reserved for a select few, for the chosen ones. It is available to anyone. To everyone. To you. Anyone who is willing to do the work, to feel the discomfort, to embrace the journey. Be authentic. Be persistent. Be relentless in your pursuit of the life you were meant to live. And above all, believe in yourself. Because when you do, when you truly, deeply, unshakably believe in yourself, there's nothing, absolutely nothing, in this entire world that can stand in your way. So now, the choice lies in your hands. It always has. You can continue to wait. Wait for the motivation to magically appear. Wait for the fear to finally pass. Wait for everything in your life to feel just right before you finally begin. Or you can decide, right here, right now, you can decide that you're done waiting, that you're done hoping, that you're ready to take radical, full ownership of your life, your mindset, and your future. Because the truth is, you already have everything you need inside you. The strength, the resilience, the courage, the discipline, it's all there. It has always been there, waiting to be tapped into, waiting to be developed, waiting for you to finally give yourself permission to rise. This journey you're on the path toward true mental strength and unshakable confidence is not about being perfect. It's not about never feeling afraid or never falling short. It's about the refusal. The glorious, defiant refusal to stay down when life knocks you off your feet. It's about waking up each day and choosing to believe in yourself, again and again and again, even when the voice in your head tells you otherwise. It's about doing the hard things, not because they are easy, but because they are worth it. Because you are worth it. And yes, there will be setbacks. There will be moments when your confidence wavers, when your discipline slips, when life hits you harder than you ever expected. But those moments, they do not define you. They refine you. They challenge you to dig deeper, to rise stronger, to recommit to the magnificent vision you have for your life. Each time you choose to push through the doubt, to stay focused in the chaos, to keep going when quitting would be easier, you are actively shaping the person you are always meant to become. Confidence is earned. Discipline is earned. Mental strength is earned. They are not handed to you. They are built. One choice, one action, one moment at a time. So don't you dare underestimate the power of what you do today. The decisions you make in this very moment are the seeds of your future strength. Speak to yourself with belief. Show up with intention. Face your challenges with courage. And most importantly, keep moving forward. Even if it's only by an inch. Even if you have to crawl. Because those small, consistent, relentless steps you take, they will add up. They will compound. They will become something extraordinary. The life you want, the strength you seek, the confidence you crave. It's not somewhere far off in the distant future. It begins now. It begins the moment you decide to rise. And if you keep choosing to rise, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you will become someone unstoppable. You will become someone unbreakable. You will become someone who doesn't just dream of a better life, but who creates it with their own hands. This is your time. This is your journey. This is your story. And no matter where you've been, no matter what you've faced, no matter what you've lost, the best chapters are not behind you. The best chapters are still waiting to be written by you. So go out there. Stand tall. Trust yourself. Keep building. Keep believing. If this video found you at the right time, share it. Text someone who needs to hear this today. Let's build an army of the unshakable. And if this changed your mindset, remember to subscribe. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of your new story. Never forget, you are far more powerful than you have ever been led to believe. The world isn't waiting for you to be perfect. It's waiting for you to be present, to be brave, too. Begin.